All right.
Welcome to Boondocking for Jesus.
I was just gonna say, you boondocking watchers. We are in Colorado. I'm a little bit spicy.
I'm a little
long
spicy.
Day. It's been a long day. It's been a tough day. You don't realize how bad the roads can get in Colorado until you start driving them, thinking it's just around the next turn, around the next turn. It's not around the next turn. Sometimes it's not even there.
He's learning it.
It's been tough. So anyway, those of you that don't like cliffs and hanging things and the opportunity to drive 340 feet down into a gulch, well, thank God you weren't with us today, because it was intense.
It was intense.
We got some good leads. We have
A lot of disappointment.
a lot of disappointment. I think a lot of the spiciness is coming from a combination of the disappointment and excitement. I guess when you're trying to squeeze too much into a short period of time. We tried to, maybe we didn't. We saw some really good stuff. We know where we don't want to be. We know where we kind of do want to be. We know that if we end up somewhere that's maybe not as pristine or perfect, that it's going to be pristine and perfect in God's plan, but our comfort is not part of that situation. So he's not, like Todd says, he's not concerned about our comfort, he's concerned about our character. So if he's trying to work some character into us, it's going to be here. So this was the location that we got to hang out for the weekend. That's exactly the room view that we have. Our room is
on the 6th floor, and we get to see all of the city. It's pretty.
Absolutely unbelievable. And it was at a great price.
So what you can be praying for is that I had already said that the piece of property would probably be around 9 acres. And there was one piece of property today that we couldn't get to, couldn't see.
We were there. That's the hard part, is that we were literally that close. We called the realtor and he said, no, you shouldn't be seeing that, you shouldn't be seeing that. But I think he wasn't really paying attention, because we were on the road, and after he called us tonight on the way back, we were like, but that's where we were. We were up that road. He goes, well, why was the gate locked? And I go, I don't know, but it was locked. We parked right outside of the gate. Once we saw this and this, he said, no, you were on the right place. I think you were really close to where you were supposed to be.
So to be respectful for other property owners, the gate said no trespassing, and the gate was locked. And we walked around the gate and walked up and saw a house that had, you're being filmed, you're on camera.
Right. But the MLS said that the gate would be unlocked, but the GPS said that we were at the location. We just had to go a few blocks up the street, which we were trying to do, but the realtor did say that that was the right place. There's another way to get in, so we're going to research that and figure out how to do it, but pray for the roadblocks to be removed, because it's like so amazing how it's just like there. It's just like it's a roadblock, like stop, you can't go any further than this. It's been amazing. That's been amazing.
Yeah, every piece of property we're like, nope, that's too far out. This is too difficult. Some have roads that we could travel on, and I don't know how he drove on them. Sometimes, growing up in the mountains.
And Texans know how to drive on back roads.
Okay, we don't have a four-wheel drive. I was not comfortable with that, but there are some pieces of property that we could look at a little bit more.
Just made it work.
But what is really cool about the piece of property that we're going to go see tomorrow is that the realtor, we here in Colorado, we have reached out and reached out and reached out, and nobody calls you back. You can't get somebody to help you purchase a piece of property. You really have to go research it yourself and go do it yourself. And this gentleman has called us 2 or 3 times and texted us to make sure that we found the piece of property that we were looking for. So tonight when he got a hold of us, I was just shocked, and I'm like, okay, we're not supposed to give up on this piece of property, and we should go back and look at it. And it just happens to be 9 acres, and we asked him about the terrain, and he said that we should like it for what we want to do. So anyway, if you could just be praying over this piece of property, that it is for us or not for us, that is very clear when we go to see it tomorrow morning. I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, me too. It's
What
like
else?
it's just been. That's it. I'm just tired.
We were
I
exhausted.
got to go back tomorrow, and I got to go back to the regular world, and I'm exhausted. But it was a long day. It was a trying day. There was moments of it where you're like, you're so excited that you're so close, and then you go. The disappointment was just as big as the crescendo of the excitement, because it was just like, really, we got that close, and I mean, literally, she said about the 500 miles on the car. I think we did that, and maybe a year's worth of wear and tear, because the roads were tough. Some of the roads were tough. So.
And we kind of became porcupines in the car. I like to call it like that.
Not me.
Whatever. He was a little porcupine when we were coming home. I drove home
You did drive home.
because
Thank
he
you. I appreciate
was
that.
spewing a few little
I was
quills.
done.
He was done.
I was
I
done.
could see that he was done, and I didn't want to be poked at any longer either. So
I had to get
it
from
was a
behind the
tough
wheel.
day all the way around, but a blessing is that we got to see many properties that we know.
Did see, so.
We don't
Good
have to
stuff.
think about any longer, and we can be thankful that we can
Yeah.
move on.
Yeah, those are gonna be written off. So and there was some clarity in that. So yeah, thanks for that. But we had no service, so we couldn't do the Facebook Live thing that we wanted to do.
No.
But we're still trying to figure out. I think that may be part of it. Once we find the place, it's gonna work. It's just gonna all work. We're gonna know. We're gonna be like, oh, this is it. But it wasn't today, so sadly, I have that news to deliver. It was not today, but maybe on the way back tomorrow, because we're gonna try to push it to the 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock hour before we hit the road, so we can try to get the most of the time that we have here. But it's been a great weekend, so we appreciate all the prayers and the thoughts. The comments, the outreaches of, you got this. We really appreciate hearing from you guys. So it's just, if you feel it on your heart to put something on the chat and say, hey, you're doing good or whatever, just do it, because it helps us. It really is a fuel. It's an interesting fuel, because you don't think it's going to be, but it is. So.
Right. So remember, subscribe, comment, like, and share.
Share it with anybody that talks about, because we've learned a lot about the solar stuff, where we can park, where we can't park, the things that we can and can't do. You guys send us video links. We love it. So just do that. And then today will be 1 year. We had the hair salon for 20 years, just so you guys know. 1999, September 1st,
Yes.
1999 was the first day that we opened. It's been 20 years today, so thank you, God. Thank you. I just can just say thanks. So if you guys have any questions or comments, just let us know. We love you. Bye. Peace out.